Hard Light versus Zhalo Supercell. Man, this is kind of like one of those things that people are just, I don't know. People will always go with whatever their favorite is. Me personally, guys, I really like Zhalo. Zhalo's always been a top favorite of mine, not just in PvE, but also in PvP. I really like using it in PvP. And then there's other people, man, that live and breathe Hard Light. But today we're going to be comparing these two exotic auto rifles because autos in general are really not terrible, man. They're really not. They've got a place now in PvP, man. And we're going to be comparing how both of these weapons stack against each other. Also, guys, if you want to check out the link below in the description, there is a Gleam link. I'll be doing a KontrolFreek bundle giveaway and choosing 3 winners each month. So this will allow people that want one of these bundles. It is the KontrolFreek bundle for Destiny specifically. And a lot of people have given me a lot of good feedback on the specific bundle. So I'm going to keep giving that one away. With that being said, guys, let's get started. Alright guys, so I know most of us probably already know what is exactly on these weapons. I'm just going to show you just real quick what I'm loading out on mine. So I go with CQB, give it just a little more range, man. Stability drops from 93 to 91, not terrible. Now this weapon of course has good stability there with brace frame at the bottom. That's what I leave it on. Persistence as well. And then that third perk right there that you see, man, bolts from the blue. Double kills with this weapon, charge a small amount of super energy and return ammo to the magazine. I also want to take note of the other perk all the way to the left, the Zhalo Supercell perk. Arc projectiles have a chance to chain lightning when enemies are close together. That's something that you see. I mean, you see a lot more in PvE because you see a lot more people using Zhalo in PvE, but that definitely is something that happens a bunch in PvP, and that's really good if you're going to start chaining kills. And then on Hard Light, guys, I rock this, man. Of course, CQB, Ballistic Steel, Volatile Light, Fitted Stock, Glass Half Full. Now, Volatile Light, man, that's something, dude, that as you begin to play more and more with this weapon, you really start to crutch on that. Like, you see that there's no damage fall off, which is excellent to have on an auto rifle. But on the other side of things, it's also really great when somebody gets around like debris and stuff like that, or sitting around a corner, man, and especially if they're like one shot. So just to be able to ricochet off of surfaces and hit them is really great. You'd be surprised how many kills I got from just that. All right, so let's talk about time to kill, man. So the time to kill for both of these weapons is 0.9 seconds, which of course is why I'm comparing them. And on the other side of things, they both take 8 crits, 2 body shots. The biggest difference is you'll see that Zhalo Supercell, of course, being affected by damage fall off, only hitting like 20 a crit, 15 body shot damage. So things like that is the difference between this and Hard Light, because Hard Light doesn't have that damage fall off to deal with, and so it's still able to consistently hit 21 per crit and 16 body shot. Okay, guys, so before we go any further, let me go ahead and just underline the blatant differences between both of these. So Zhalo Supercell does not necessarily have great stability, but once you do throw on brace frames, it does up that stability, but it kills that mag size. That mag size was really eating me up, guys. I can tell you right now, there was a lot of times I was sitting there looking at that mag size, I was like, God bless, man. I pretty much got enough to chew through one person and maybe another, but that's best case scenario. A lot of times you're just gonna miss shots, you know what I mean? You're not always gonna be able to just consistently land shots with an auto rifle. And so you're going to be reloading a bunch with Zhalo Supercell. So for those out there that don't have auto rifle reloaders, I actually went and got myself from Iron Man and was selling some. And so I actually got those from there, and it actually really improved things a lot for me when using Zhalo in PvP. Now, a huge difference between this and Hard Light in terms of its sights. Some people say that Zhalo is got better sights, but it's not necessarily the sights I think that they're comparing it to. I think it's the screen shake that a lot of people really get turned off when it comes to Hard Light. Hard Light does have this weird screen shake, this vibration that throws people off. Now this used to be, in my opinion, used to be worse. I think last September when I was reviewing Hard Light, I felt like it was worse then. And of course, I felt like hit registration and other things that were really plaguing auto rifles to begin with. But I felt like that was the issue a lot with Hard Light, and why a lot of people have really turned away from Hard Light is simply because of that vibration, that screen shake that so many of us have complained about. Alright guys, so which one of these auto rifles is the auto rifle you should be using in PvP? Okay, so I'm going to kind of give two answers to this. All right. Number one, if you cannot stand the screen shake on hard light, Zhalo Supercell is just fine. You know, it jumps a little bit, but I will say having persistence on Zhalo in combination with brace frames, and also being on an 88 rate of fire archetype, having those perks on it really gives you a very stable gun. And plus, I actually really like the Zhalo perk itself. I like the fact of being able to chain lightning around in 6s and stuff like that. Zhalo to me has always been a very good 6 weapon. I like using it there in 6s. Now, as far as taming hard light, as far as getting the screen shake down, if you take the time to do that, if you do those things, you've got an auto rifle, man, that is very, very good. Again, the only downside to hard light is that screen shake. But there was so many times that I was so appreciative of the fact that it didn't have damage fall off, because the difference between both of these weapons literally came down to milliseconds. It came down to what if that would have been full crit damage? What if that would have actually been 21 instead of 19? Would that have made the difference in that gunfight? And it would. It would make a difference. And so if you can tame hard lights, you know, wonky ass recoil pattern, you've got an auto rifle that can do extremely well for you. And there was so many times, man, that I was just spamming with hard light because it gives you a great magazine size. It's also got wonderful aim assist. It's got a lot of things there that allows it to really perform well. You just have to keep that reticle on point and learn to live with that crazy screen shake that I know many of us have complained about. Well, guys, that's my thoughts on both of these auto rifles, man. You know, hey, pick it up this weekend from Zer, dude. I had a lot of fun using it. I'm probably going to be using it this weekend along with Fusion. I was rocking out Vacancy. I might use Vacancy this weekend in Trials as well. And as always, guys, thank you so much for coming and watching, and I'll catch y'all later.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.